Man.
All right, so Shalom, Yahbashim Yahushai, Rakathal, Yahweh Shema, Bashim Yahushai, Police Officer Heiser 500.
Lord, sir, I can't hear nothing.
You can hear me? Make sure you don't have no other apps in your, running in the background, like the internet and nothing like that. You hear me now? Okay. All right, so it was a Wednesday, Isupk, Florida law class. Y'all get y'all questions ready, or if y'all got any. If not, I'll go through a breakdown. Magazar, you hear me? Paul, you can hear me?
Come.
Okay. All right, no sweat. So we'll just keep rolling. I don't know. I guess he fell off.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep on rolling. Questions. If no questions, I'll go into my breakdown. No questions? You can hear me?
Come.
Oh, he fell off again. All right, we just keep rolling. Don't worry, he'll come back on. You got any questions, Paul?
Law, sir.
All right, no sweat. All right, you a Bible scholar?
Not yet, sir.
You're supposed to have questions.
Come.
No sweat. Give me a second. All right, give me I think we went over that last week. You was in here last week? No?
I was in here, but I wasn't on live.
You went online? All right.
Remember I was trying to get in and it wouldn't let me to my camera.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to give the brother a little bit more time to get in here. I guess his phone jammed up. All right, here you go.
It's like it's saying I got we gotta add him in.
Yeah, I just did it.
Okay.
Hey, you can hear me?
Go on.
Slocky, you can hear me?
Megazar, you
On
can
the
hear me?
wall?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Man, I can't hear nothing. Man,
You say you can't hear nothing?
dang.
Make sure your mute button ain't on.
So like you said, I do have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
How is it that Esau, his descendants, how did they turn white if his children came from an African, a Hamite,
Okay,
and
so
it
you want to
weren't
know. Okay, so you want to know how did Esau turn white if he married um like Africans and Arabs? Who did Esau marry? Let's start right there. Who did Esau marry? You know what scripture that is?
Allah, sir.
What is in Genesis? No, yeah, Genesis. Maybe in Genesis. I think it's in Genesis. Might be like 28 or something like that. Give me a second, my bad.
So like you said, I think start around 28:9, 28:8 and 28:9, something like that.
Go ahead and read it.
Says this is Genesis 28:8. And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father, then went Esau into Ishmael and took unto the wives which he had Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Naboth, to be his wife.
Right. Okay. So your question is, how did Esau turn so-called white if he married Canaanites and Ishmaelites? Right.
Come on.
Okay. What is something that they do to us? Like so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. What is it that they do to us as a nation? Thanks slavery.
Rape.
True. But what else?
Um,
Let me help you out. Get Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2.
Come on. The book of Jeremiah,
Like, this
chapter
is something that,
14.
go ahead.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourning, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
Right. So black unto the ground. Like, if you dig in the dirt, what do you see?
Soil,
Okay. The color of the soil.
or different shades of brown.
Right. So what is something that Esau do to us because we are those different colors?
He played a colorism game.
Exactly. Like, you light skin, you dark skin, your hair straight, your nose this, your nose is that, or you look like this, you look like that. Like, they do that to us. So if they do that to us, of course they do that to who? They own them people. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole part of, when you go into the 1400s with the slavery thing, anybody who, if you was dark skinned, and you, for the most part, you became a slave damn near. Especially the weaker, you gotta look at the weaker nations. Our nation, and of course, we went into West Africa. We weren't indigenous to that land. You know what I'm saying? We had only been there for so long. So we the weakest nation. That ain't our homeland. It's like sports, the home field advantage. We didn't have home field advantage. So of course we the nation that's gonna lose. Now you get over here to the Americas, the so-called Native Indians, they got home field advantage, but they outgunned. So what do? What is some of the things that the so-called white man do to us? Oh, you light skin, you can come in the house and be the house slave. You dark skin, you outside. You know what I'm saying? That same mentality runs all through Esau's empire. You know what I'm saying? They get a child that you know what I'm saying, they adopt black babies. You know what I'm saying? And make them act like them. I mean, you ever meet a brother or sister that they can't identify with fried chicken, and they can't identify with black culture at all. You know what I'm saying? So Esau is no difference. Like, look at Hitler, where you had to be blonde hair, blue eyes. Like, you had to be the so-called whitest of all white. You know what I'm saying? In order to be a part of their nation. If you had brown hair, you got to get out. If your eyes is brown, you ain't part. You know what I'm saying? So that same thing, Slucky, that same thing that they do that to their own people, where you have to be a certain type, you have to look a certain way. So of course, all the babies that come out so-called albino or so-called, without melanin or whatever, them the ones that they stay. Of course, in that time, with Esau, a lot of the albino children were with them as well. You know what I'm saying? From like the Hamites and all that. And a lot of Esau was mating with albinos. I think he just fell out word.
So yes, sir.
No
My
sweat.
camera, everything I froze up.
All right. No, that's 12. All right. So that's pretty much how it is with them. Like, keep in mind, Esau and them, they outlaws. They outcasts in the ancient world. So they're mating with, albinos. They're mating with, the people who are kicked out of the other nations. All right. And of course, Esau, he's such a racist devil that, you know what I'm saying, anybody that don't look like him, like, you don't cut it. You know what I'm saying? So if you're doing that over time, they still mating, but they getting rid of, you know, the ones that, you know what I'm saying? The ones that don't look like them. Then of course, eventually, you know, you're gonna have one race of people that, you know what I'm saying? But as far as, you know, the hair and all that, that's all in Genesis as well. You know, the goat hair and all that, you know, Genesis 25. But that's just how Esau worked. That's, I mean, he worked that way now. You know what I'm saying? You ever see Esau mate with a child and or mate, not mate with a child, but mate with like an Asian woman, and the baby come out looking more Asian than European? You know what I'm saying? Then that they don't really claim them children. They don't really claim them children. You know what I'm saying? They just, you know, he Japanese because he looked Japanese. Whereas Esau he could sleep with that same, like just say he sleep with a woman, and that woman comes out looking more white than Asian. Well, then, you know, that child, they put that child up on front of everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because it looks more like how they want it to look. You know what I'm saying? Which is the same reason why Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, while we spend we spend most of our time trying to look like them. You know, you see the sisters with the weave, and you know what I'm saying? They like blue eyes and contacts, and you know, they try to do everything. You know, the skin lightening, you know, all that. You know, they spend like, you know, top dollar to try to come off looking more and more like, you know, Edomite women. You know what I'm saying? But the same thing they do to us, hey, you know, they do that to their own people. You know what I'm saying? But excellent question though. Anything else?
Allah, sir, that made perfect sense. Like basically, you know, Esau, he married a lady, they have kids, and I'm guessing, like you saying, like it ain't a overnight thing. It's a through process of them weeding out the melanated, you know, ones of them, like the Bob Marleys and stuff like that, you know, to get more to something that's more like Esau, their father, you know what I mean, and continue that line and the way how he looks and stuff like that with
exactly
with their the rest of the line.
Exactly. Like this is over time. Of course, remember, they did a lot of, you know, mating with albino outcasts. You know what I'm saying? So of course, most of those babies are gonna come out looking, you know, like albino children. You know what I'm saying? But in times where they didn't, you know, that child, you know what I'm saying, especially when you get up into the 15 and 1700s, especially like when you know, when slavery came in, like they ain't claiming, Esau not claiming them kids. You know what I'm saying? They not, especially when you get into America, Esau not claiming them kids. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why you know, you got the house slave. It's the reason why a lot of times. Not saying that every single house slave that's light-skinned or every single, you know what I'm saying? That's stupid, you know, fake Israelite group stuff. They think everybody light-skinned got, you know what I'm saying? That's just not, it's not accurate. But it is true that, you know, some of Esau kids that didn't look like him were not treated as from him. You know what I'm saying? And you know, because they didn't look like him, you know what I'm saying? You know, you another nation, you Arab, you know, you East Indian, you whatever the hell your mama was, but you're not, you know, and that's another reason why, you know, of course, the Jewish community, they always say it's from the mother, the seed of the mother. Like the mother don't got seed. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the mother. When according to the Lord, it's always about the lineage of the father, regardless of how you look. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Paul was preaching the way he was preaching, saying that, you know, he prayed that all Israel be saved. Because we got certain laws that if you had a certain illness or a certain deformity, you couldn't come in the land. You know what I'm saying? If you had a certain, you know, feature or phenotype, like you couldn't be a part of the nation. You know what I'm saying? Well, Paul was saying, hey, it don't matter this time around. It don't matter. You know, all of us, you know, regardless if you Hold on a second. Oh, there you go. He's back. You can hear me? Megazar, you can hear me?
Come on, sir.
Okay. All right, no sweat. But yeah, that's how that. Look at it generational. You know what I'm saying? Don't look at it like he had a black woman or he had a Canaanite woman that was real dark skinned. The baby came out dark skinned, and then that's it. Like that's not even. That's one generation, barely. You know what I'm saying? Think about the hundreds of albino kids and the kids that did look like him. You know what I'm saying? And those children continue to reproduce. Plus, Esau is known for incest. You know what I'm saying? And the way we see the world today is not as how we seen the world in antiquity. Like when you look at the interracial dating and all that shit damn near a new phenomenon. Damn near. Not saying you didn't have instances in the past, but the way we get down today and the way they got down back then, like, even today we do that. Today we got, you got ghettos and barrios and reservations. Like we separate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not by accident. You know what I'm saying? It's all like, all the nations are like that. Look at Africa. All them Hamites, you know what I'm saying? 99% or 90% of that continent are Hamites. But even within their nation or the different, tribes, they separate. You know what I'm saying? It's only now where people are, really, and people really don't accept interracial marriage. It's just in America and places where, Esau got big influence. When you look at Asia, you don't see that. When you look at, even parts of Africa, you don't really see it as much as you see it in America and places where the so-called white man has really got dominance. But any other questions, or that was it?
I answered my question. The water.
All right, let's hold it. Megazar, you can hear me?
Love you, sir.
Go ahead.
So just only America is the one that allow like different type of stuff like that to go on inside of the country.
I wouldn't say America only. I think all countries, or for the most part, most countries, I wouldn't say all countries, they have some sort of interracial mixture of different nations. Like when you go into Asia, you have a lot of East Indians may have married some of the Asian population. You got probably some Africans that may have married, Hamites that may have married into, Ishmael or whatever. But generally, and I ask this question, what is one of the 4 factors of interracial marriage? Anybody? One of the main causes.
Salagi, sir. Self-hatred.
Love you, sir. It's just
Okay,
me out.
That's true. I could say that's true, but there's something bigger than that. Something a lot, stronger, something, more common and more easy for people to accept.
Lucky is religion.
Exactly. Religion. You know what I'm saying? Religion, like Islam, they say anybody can come into Islam. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could be a part of Islam. So when you got 2 people from 2 different nations and they believe that, you know, the God Allah or Muhammad is the real prophet, they not looking at they stock. You know what I'm saying? The religion is like what connects them together. So yeah, religion would definitely be, you know, the answer. Hold on a second. You know, look at Christianity. You know, Christianity is the same way. When you go into the church, what you see when you go into the church?
Mixed couples and all that.
Right. I mean, what did church tell you?
Lucky.
Go ahead.
That God loves everybody and everybody's accepted by God no matter what race you are.
Exactly. That's what the church tell you, because they tell you that people, I mean, they, even though they say that, people still, you know, overall marry within their nation, generally speaking. But it's in America and in areas where Christianity is dominant where you start to see it. You know what I'm saying? That's where you really start to see it. Like, hell, most black women don't like white guys. You know what I'm saying? What you see when you see a black woman with a white dude, what you think? What's the first thing you think? Generally speaking.
It's disgusting to me, man. Like,
Exactly.
I see my head, it is, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you just be like, if you know what I'm saying? And that's common. That's the same thing when a sister see a brother, you know, walking with Esau. You know what I'm saying? Oh, a black woman wasn't good enough for you. You know, you ever see that? You ever see how the black woman look when you see, you know what I'm saying? That's how the black woman, you know. So even still, you know what I'm saying, religion is that glue that makes everybody just kind of bind together and forget about where you come from. You know what I'm saying? Right. Anything else? If not, one second, give me a second. We'll go back over this real quick. Hey, let me get Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Right.
And all
what it's talking about.
So,
go ahead.
Obedience.
Okay. What's going on right here? Is more the question I should ask.
Oh, it's like an agreement, contract.
Okay. Right. An agreement. You could say a contract in what? Okay, so who's the contractee, if you will?
Us, sir, the children of Israel, on the Most High.
So this is the Most High, and he's basically setting down, this is what will happen if you listen to my, laws, statutes, and commandments. All right. Go to verse 2.
Come. All these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Keep going.
Come. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body.
Now keep going.
Come. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket.
It's lucky. Okay, so you go on Facebook or anywhere, and they say the real Jews are the Jews over there in Israel, right?
Come.
All right. So my bad, he just fell out again. So how do you combat that?
With the curses, sir.
Right, that's what we're reading right now. That's why I had you read it. Like this is telling you what'll happen and to who. You know what I'm saying? This is why I had you go into it. Because when you look over there, what are they doing over there in the so-called land of Israel? Or the land of Israel, the small piece that they,
Defiling it, homosexuality, the biggest
got
gay
it. I was just
parade.
gonna say that. Right. They got homo parades, and I guess I can't say that, homosexual parades and everything, and we know according to the Bible, the Lord say, we supposed to keep the laws, you know what I'm saying, as you just read in Deuteronomy 28 and 1 and 2. All right. What's another point to prove that the so-called people in Israel or the Jewish people aren't real Jews? Another scripture.
So like Deuteronomy 28, 15.
Okay, that's
68. 28, 68.
Okay, that's a good one. Go ahead. You can go ahead and read it.
Come. So Deuteronomy 28, 68 says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, and thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Right. What does it mean when they say no man shall buy you?
Salakia.
Go ahead.
It means no man will redeem you.
Right. Which means no man will save you. You know what I'm saying? This is why, Black Lives Matter movements and, other, all the movements, Million Man March. I mean, you can go down Black Panther, you go down the list of movements that in America alone, they not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? You just read why it won't work. Now, does that pertain to the so-called Jewish man though?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
That don't pertain to them.
Right. So that's one of the first things you could do, go to. Like, when in history that they were ever on slave ships? Never. Never in history. All right. You can actually read that for me again, Hapap.
Come. Deuteronomy 28, 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, And
What does it
thou
mean when it
shalt
say
see,
Egypt? Slaki.
Salaki, sir, bondage,
Right.
Exodus 20.
Right. Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. Okay, keep going. Keep reading.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
So I mean, that's if that ain't a cut, like what is? Like we only know there's only one nation of people who went into slave ships to another land as a nation. I ain't talking about, a few hundred people, I'm talking about the whole nation, you know what I'm saying? And this is undisputable.
Slaki, sir.
Go ahead.
A lot of people like to say, "Oh yeah, white people went into slavery too." I'm like, well, it wasn't no slavery like the slavery of the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right, which is true. But what's another question you should ask? What would be a better question? Go ahead.
Like, was it on ships?
Exactly. Like the reason for the slavery is what you want to get to. Like why they went in slavery? Because if y'all saying y'all was the Jews the whole time, y'all been the Jews, and you went into slavery and you're still the Jews, well then y'all can't be the real Jews because the Bible says what about the real Jews? Precept. I know this is gonna be a hard one. You might want to write this down. I don't think one of y'all gonna get it.
Salak, yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Jeremiah 14:2.
La, not that one. Not that one. You take another shot, or Megazar, you want to take a shot?
Salakia, the ones that say they are Jews and they are not.
Not that one. Okay, what is it said would happen to us? According to Deuteronomy 28. Right.
Salaki. It will be sold.
Okay. That's true, but it's something else that happened to us. I'll give you a hint. If you ask a black person, what's their nationality, what they'll tell you?
Salaki.
Salaki.
Go ahead.
It says we'll lose our identity.
Most High Christ, exactly. Precept.
Oh man.
This is a hard one.
Salaki.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah, is it in Isaiah?
It may be. That's not the one I want though. But you can pull it if you got it.
Salaki, sir, is it the one who said we will be in astonishment and Proverbs byword?
That's one. That is one, but that's not the one I want. I need you. This one will basically explain it to a Christian. Like if you battling a so-called Jewish man and you pull this one out, it's like no contest. You know what I'm saying? It's like it explains it right to the T. Give me Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4.
Okay. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
Right. Like that's, that's a part of the curse. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of what happens to us when we go off. So you got to ask, like, the Jewish man, when it happened to y'all? Because y'all went through the Holocaust. Y'all went into the Holocaust as Jewish people, right? You came out as Jewish people. You see what I'm saying? Like, at this point, you don't fit the curse. You don't fit the bill. You know what I'm saying? You don't fit. Like, it's something missing. Because you're supposed to lose your heritage. You're supposed to not know who you is. You're supposed to call yourself African American, Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to have a recollection of your greatness. You know what I'm saying? But if we saying y'all was a Jews, we've been the Jews, that ain't what the Bible's saying. Like, something ain't right. Somebody got some explaining to do.
All
right. Also, give me Hosea chapter 1 verse 10.
Come on. Hosea chapter 1, verse 10. And it says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it will be said.
Read that part over.
Come. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God.
Right. Like right now, they tell us what? what they say about so-called blacks, Hispanics? Right. We niggas, speaks, and savages. That's what we is here. You know what I'm saying? And how would the so-called white man say, you African? Watch this. Let me go ask this person over here. He go ask a blackity black. And a blackity black will say, yeah, African black power. Like, we are in that place right now where we are saying we are not, the people of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? We violent, we criminals, we drug addicts. We unorganized. Our men are effeminate. Our women are overly aggressive. We have no economic system other than to be a consumer. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that represents, any type of organization whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? You just say, oh yeah, y'all niggas, y'all just slaves. Y'all slaves from Africa. You know what I'm saying? And all 12 tribes are looked down like that way. All 12 tribes are looked as if we, your history started when the white man discovered whatever land you was on. Judah and Benjamin, they say, okay, Your history started when you got on the slave ships. You know what I'm saying? That's when your history started. You know what I'm saying? So at this point in time, we are said, you know, we ain't the most high people at all. Why? Because we lost that heritage. You know what I'm saying? We lost that, you know, we lost greatness. You know, we lost you know, that connection with the most high to be that ruling class. All right. Also, give me another scripture. Give me Joel chapter 3, verse 6.
Come on. Well, it's the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 6 says, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might be removed.
My bad. Like, I mean, they've been selling us for a while. You know what I'm saying? What you're seeing in the 1700s, you know what I'm saying? You know, for a long time, we've been getting sold over here, sold over there to these people, sold over here to these people. It just so happened the last time we got sold, so-called white man brought us to Babylon. You know what I'm saying? And again, you're told that that's the beginning of our world. But we've been getting sold. All right, keep reading that. I think there's more on that.
Come on. That ye have sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head.
Right. Like, we were sold. I mean, we are in North, well, the land of the North right now. You know, we in the land of the North. I mean, our land is way east. And on that land, you got Edomites or Amalekites and Ishmaelites and Hamites, you know, and Persians on the land that's for us. You know what I'm saying? Wow, we off from them borders. You know what I'm saying? They moved us so far away from where we supposed to be at that, you know, you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, and you born, you know, on this soil, of course you would think you had nothing to do with what they, you know, the so-called Middle East. Like, you'll be like, they ain't got nothing to do with me. That's normal because you're so far away. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Brother, yeah, of course, Revelation 2 and 9. You got any other question?
Sir.
All right. We get Revelations 2 and 9.
Come. It's the book of Revelations, chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy.
Just like you keep going.
Come. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews.
Right. Like the blasphemy that the so-called Jewish man say he a Jew, but he not a Jew. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole point of, you know, us writing stuff down is because of other nations. You know, they come in and steal and pillage your land. And in this case, they trying to say they us. I mean, look at their culture. And particularly, I'm talking about the Orthodox, right? The so-called Orthodox Jew, what does he wear? The clothing.
He wears the black trench coat, the top hat, or the crap.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's trying to be black. But he gonna put it on his clothes. You know what I'm saying? And then they do what to their hair?
Or they try to twist it up, try to get, them
little pigtails, them little pig. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Little pigtails on the on the hair. They're trying to make, because typically Esau hair is straight like a goat. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get there. Give me we'll go into that. Give me Genesis. Hold on a second. I think it's 26. No, 27. Give me Genesis chapter 27. We'll start from the top. Let's start at 6.
It's Genesis 27, verse 6.
Right.
And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat and bless thee before the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said unto Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau is my brother. Salaki, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure.
We don't got to break that down, do we?
Sir.
All right, he go.
Come. My father peradventure will fill me, and I shall see. So like my father peradventure will fill me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice, and go fetch me them. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother, and said, Mother, and his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were in her house, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck.
All right, stop right there.
And she gave
Slocky. So you see what's going on, right? Did you catch that?
Come on. She put she made him hairy all over, like a hairy garment.
Right. Like a
you
what?
Know what I mean? Everywhere he was smooth.
Right. Jacob was smooth. You know what I'm saying? But Esau, he was hairy, but he had hair like a goat. You know, you ever seen hair, how the goat hair is? The goat, like the hair of a goat is different from the hair of the hair of a goat is different from the hair of a sheep. You ever seen the sheep hair? It's different. The hair of the goat is like straight. You know what I'm saying? So this is how Esau hair was. You know what I'm saying? That's why she put that skin on his hand so that when his father feel his hands, you know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, yeah, this got to be Esau because it's straight hair. You know what I'm saying? Like that's some of the stuff that you got to pick up to get the description of how Esau looked. You know what I'm saying? Fake Israelites, they go into the scriptures and they'll miss that whole chapter, not understanding. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why she did that. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason. You know what I'm saying? I think that's pretty. It's more on that. Okay, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, like it's typical for a so-called white man to be hairy. They have hair all on their back. I mean, not saying that you can't have hair on your back, but they have, according to a black man, an unusual amount of hair on their back. Beard, they beard connect with the hair on their neck. It's like they just a hairy people. You know what I'm saying? And Genesis 27, it explains and gives us, how Esau looked. You know what I'm saying? All right. I think where you was before? Joel 3:6.
I was at Revelations 2:9, and then Joel before that.
Okay, you finished Revelation 2:9?
Con.
All right. Okay, also give me Genesis chapter 10, verse 22.
You said 10 and 22?
Con.
It's the book of Genesis chapter 10, verse 22. The children of Shem, Elam, and Asher, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram, and the children of Aram, Uz, and Hul, and Gether, and Math, and Arphaxad begat Salah, and Salah begat Eber. And unto Eber were born 2 sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided. And his brother's name was Joktan. And Joktan begat.
Okay, that's 12. All right, this is just going further back in the lineage. You know what I'm saying? Like further back in the lineage. This is what this is talking about. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, like again, fake Israelite group, they'll skip this whole thing. And that's why they don't understand, from Adam to who? Peleg. You know what I'm saying? From there to Noah to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, then the 12 tribes. Like you got to understand that first to understand some of the stuff that we break down, to understand who the Jews are. You got to understand who, where they come from, where they stem from.
Come on. That's lucky, sir.
Mm-hmm.
On verse 25 of that, where it says, his name was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided. Does that mean like he was around during the time of Babel or anything like that? Because I mean, they was living like for thousands of years and stuff back then.
Okay, so your question is question number 25. When they say the earth was divided, you want to know that was the time of you said Babel?
Kind of like what?
You mean the Tower of Babel?
Kind of like what? So like you, sir?
No, go ahead. My bad.
Basically, what type of division do you mean by that, or what instance?
Okay, so Yeah, no sweat. The division is they had their own land. You had the land of Ham, you had the land of Shem, and you had the land of Japhet. So that's what it's talking about when it's saying divided. Like everybody went kumbaya in one little area. Everybody had their own land, their own portion of land. All right. If you go into 11, chapter 11, that's when it goes into everybody coming together.
Come on.
If you want to yeah, you want to start at chapter, go to chapter 11, verse 1.
Come on. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 1. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, so like it was Hebrew, sir.
Most High Christ. All right, keep going.
Come on. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they said to one another, "Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly." And they had brick for stone, and slime for and slime had they for mortar. And they said, "Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth." And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, "Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they began to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imaged, which they have imagined to do."
Right. So
go to, let us go. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of the whole, upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth.
Right. So remember, in 10, everybody was in their own area. All of a sudden, in 11, what happens?
They try to come all together. Christianity.
Hey man, what religion is that?
Kush. What's his name?
What religion?
Nimrod.
It's like what religion is that?
Oh, so like you said, that's Christianity.
What else?
That's Christianity. That's Muslim. That's
Islam.
Catholic. That's anything but every religion. So like
Most High Christ. Most High Christ. Like that's the whole end part of every religion is this. All nations come together. That's the look at the so-called Blackity Black movement, right? Particularly when you look at their movement, it's just so-called African Americans, right? Jamaicans, Haitian, anybody in the diaspora so far, Africans, right? But what happens in that? Somebody goes and do what? Marry a white man. Somebody goes and marry a Chinese man. Somebody marries, an East Indian or something, some other nation. Somebody want to go and marry another nation. Then now it ain't Blackity Black no more. It's just all nations. And this is why when you see organizations like Black Lives Matter and all this back to Egypt stuff, this is why it never works, because the heathens just come right in. That's what it's really all about. Get everybody together, Just, you know, that's just what we read here. Get everybody together and let's sing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how old and ancient this doctrine of Christianity, Islam, all this is so old. You know, Nimrod was the first one. He was the first one. Oh, everybody come together and let's touch them. Let's go touch the Most High. You know what I'm saying? The so-called white man, no different under Christianity. This time, instead of him building a building to get into space, what he do? He get a rocket and try to fly to the moon. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing from day one. Like, let's join together and kumbaya. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I think that was the end of that. Any other questions?
Allah, sir. Like you said, Esau did the same thing. He put his nest on the stars, you know, to try to be closer to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Or be more like the Most High. I shouldn't say closer to the Most High.
Right, exactly. Like, America, the whole philosophy of America is that same thing. Like, look at America, right? You come to another country, you rape, rob, and depossess the people that were already here. For what? For you to let go other people who you so-called didn't like. Like, right now, they had an African president and an East Indian president. You still ain't had no real nigga presidents. You still ain't had no real Hispanic presidents. So the very same thing that, you know, they told us they came at us as if we were less than, but then you turn around and open your country or all nations. It's that very same thing. And this is the so-called white man. And they hate their own kind. But they do the same thing that we're reading about in Genesis chapter 11. The very same thing. Everybody, you know, and, you know, even with the language, everybody don't speak the one language, but what's one of the predominant languages on the planet? You hear me?
So, like you, sir, you were cutting in and out just now.
Oh, my bad. What's one of the most common languages on the planet?
You said what languages was what, sir?
What's one of the most common languages on the planet?
The most common language on the planet? You talking about today?
Right.
English.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, it's ridiculous. Like, it make everybody speak English. You know what I'm saying? It's no different, you know, back then, you know, than it is right now. Just a new nation popping up and you know, running things different. Of course, Esau, he's at the latter end where there's more technology now. So it's easy to mask the game. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to hide some of the stuff that, of course, if you're in the Isupk, you can see right through it. But with cell phones and flat screen TVs and certain medications and stuff that the ancient world you would never have, you know, in this world, people they don't see through the illusions. They see the illusions and, you know, they accept the illusions as true, as reality, when in fact, you know, yeah, go ahead.
It's lucky, sir. I was gonna say, you're right. They accept illusions as true just so they can be dismissive of the truth, you know, because the truth, you know, really that's lock and key for them. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. Go ahead. Oh, my bad. Okay, you done? Okay. But yeah, man, like, that's, you know, this hell that we in is exactly that. It's hell. You know what I'm saying? Us dealing with the so-called white man. On top of that, there's another people saying they us. You know, they over there saying that they us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, look at them. They can't dance. They can't sing. They ain't good in this. I mean, like, y'all don't represent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't really need the Bible to know that the so-called blacks and Hispanics, that we special. We cook good. We dance. We sing. We athletic. We smart. We intelligent. I mean, it's a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? When you look at our history, even in, of course, most of the history, all the history here in America, in the North, we ain't in the truth. Like, we don't know we Israel, and we still doing great things on the earth. Imagine if we knew who we were as a nation and we treated each other so like a nation. Imagine what we would do and what we would be able to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? With that, any other questions?
Law, sir.
All right. Megas are still in here?
Con. He in the chat.
I think.
Probably.
Okay. All right, no sweat.
So, like, so you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. All right, so with that, I guess we'll go ahead and end. Megazar, you can hear me? Okay, you feel like again. All right, with that, we'll go ahead into the announcements. All right, it's Isupk security announcements. Rules of new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Ties, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8 through 10 means a tenth in Hebrew, ma'ashra. Again, that's 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. All right. Priest fund, which is a free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory, whichever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. Y'all know it'll be Passover in Houston. It'll be Houston. In Houston, that'll be April 22nd to the 27th. Also, if anybody wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. That the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commander General Yohana. We're gonna go ahead and conclude the class. Also, Salaki to all y'all, Akwatium. In the beginning, we had some technical difficulties. We're still having technical difficulties, but we just had to, fight this one through. Next week, it'll be, Lord allow it to be a lot better. All right, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end the class. Also, to y'all brothers, man, the water for y'all coming through. Try to build up this city, man, Tampa, man. Y'all got anything else?
Salaki, sir.
Go ahead.
You'll be ending with a prayer?
You got it?
Come.
All right, go ahead, call it.
Ma'andra means to stand. Or Paul thumb. I think that's how he's called. Means turn to face the east. We're finna set up the Lord's Prayer. Everybody repeat after me. Keep your phones on mute. Abanawa, Shabashamaya, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Razazaraka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arazaza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathananawa, Lacom, Cow, Yawan, Wasalaknanawa, Kawawaknawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawawak Yanawa, Wala'a, Nawa, Wanasayawan, Abal, Hawasha Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wala'ala, Wafapara, La'a, Walamium. Oh man. What we said in the English is, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thou is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. So be it.
You want to say SAR?
SAR means hands down. For to set up a courtesy salute to the teacher. Man of Israel. Amijah. Amijah Shabbat. Amijah. Barak. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Brakatham.
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai Brakatham.
And with that, class is dismissed.
All right, Hakeem, good job, good job, good job, good job.
Come on. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabbat.
Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabbat.
Shalom, Israel.